Hello, Vanessa Webb Stampin Up Demonstrator Australia here. I am completely casing this card today. There was a demonstrator by the name of Jan Mansor Brown. I think she's from the US. She pretty much made this card exactly as I'm making it today. So I've copied her colours and the design and used the extra embellishments similar to her from the Positive Thoughts stamp set. And so I thought I would try and make one of my own, but in metric measurements for our Australian sized cards and envelopes. So this is the metric version of Jan's card, but full credit goes to her for designing it. I just tweaked it a little bit, obviously with the different sizes, different cardstock size, etc. And yeah, pretty much everything else is exactly the same. So the two stamp sets that I am using today are Blessings of Home and Positive Thoughts stamp sets. This one, Positive Thoughts, is on our retiring list, and the Blessings of Home is part of our it's in our January to June mini catalogue, so that is current all the way through to end of June. And so what I'm going to do is, first of all, just show you how I've coloured it, because I've used a slightly different method for colouring these images. And we're using the big spray of flowers. It's a gorgeous line art stamp, which really does lend itself to watercolouring, colouring in with your Stampin' Blends. You could even colour it with your Stampin' Write markers, your water-based markers. It can be coloured anyway. Watercolour pencils also, and your pastels if you wanted to use those wet and or dry. You could use that. You could use them as well. So I'm just going to stamp my image just up the top of this this piece of basic white cardstock. Now this measures. It measures 9 centimetres by 14 centimetres, and it is designed to go on my card base. Now I'll explain. My card base is actually the length of an A4 sheet, so it's the full 29.8 centimetres long, and I have cut it at 15 centimetres, so it's so it's actually just before 15 actually. It is the width of, or the length of, a normal card, so it will fit in our C6 sized envelopes. Let me just double check that. Yeah, 15, just below 15. And then I've actually scored it 3 times at just before the 10 centimetre mark. So you've got what's called a trifold or a Z-fold card, and that is our card front that we will be adhering this piece of basic white to. The measurements will all be down the bottom of this video if you need to refer to them again, or you can stop the video at any time if you're cutting as you go. So yeah, just a really quick demonstration of how I achieved this look on my flowers. I actually haven't coloured the whole image in, as you'll see. So what I've done is I've started off with the dark Fresh Freesia Stampin' Blends, and I've only coloured in where those shadow lines are in each of the flower images and also the leaves. Then I've come in with the lighter coloured Fresh Freesia just to kind of blend that out a little bit. And the colour is getting softer and softer as it gets towards the outside of the petal. Now before I go on to the next colour, say for example to colour in the blue flowers, I've used the Balmy Blue Stampin' Blends. I'm just going to get my colour lifter, and I'm just going to smooth out those very edges of where the colour ends, just to soften it even a little bit more. So you'll notice that it's lifted the colour a little bit. And if I bring my original in, you'll see a little bit better. So there's actually now 3 colours. So there's the darker, the lighter, and the blended out one. So you can use this colour lifter to blend out the edges of of your colour where you've put it on your image, and it will give you an even more subtle gradation of the colour. So I've actually gone ahead and I've coloured all of these in the same technique. I've blended out the colour with the colour lifter on the leaves as well. So I've ended up with my completed piece for the front of my card. I've also got 4 little pieces which I'm just going to pop this here just to show you what I've done. I've stamped the same image on these 4 pieces, but I've joined them together first so that there's sort of one kind of continuous piece, and it'll be a bit like a jigsaw puzzle. These pieces measure, just to let you know, 3 by 7. And what I'm going to do with them is, once I've coloured them in, which I've done, is I'm actually going to cut them with my paper trimmer. I'll just grab that. My paper trimmer, I'm going to cut them to 3 centimetres, which will mean that there is a little bit that's left off, and that's okay, because I actually want them to fit on the inside of the card. So I'm just snipping a little bit of that off. So you actually want them to be 3 by 3 squares, and they will form the inside pattern on the card, inside the card. So you just want to take a little slice off. It doesn't matter if you're taking some of the image off, that's okay. You'll get most of the image still when it's stuck down to the inside of the card, and I'll show you how we're going to do that in a second. So just make sure you leave them all around the right way, so that when you come to put them together inside, I'm just going to do 3. Yeah, you're pretty sure where they're going to go. Alrighty, so got all those there. So they're all ready to go on the inside. That's ready to go on the outside. I'm going to do something a little bit tricky. I've got this stamp which says have a perfect birthday, and it's from the Blessings of Home. I do actually want to say something different, so I'm actually going to say have a perfect day, and it's going to be my mum's Mother's Day card. So I'm just leaving a little bit of room in the middle for the bow to go, and I'm just going to ink up. I'll flip this around the other way, and I will just ink up the word day. Here we go, and wipe that off because it's just encroached on a little bit. And I've got a scrap of white here, which I'm just going to put over here. And then the word day is just going to go on the end like that. So let's see how well. Oh, it kind of worked. Have a perfect day. I can put a little bit of white over that. That's okay. I should have used my Stamparatus to line that up, but that's all right. I'll keep going for the purposes of the video. I just thought I'd be a little bit clever, but you can just isolate parts of a stamp, and to line it up I would use the Stamparatus. Anyway, that's okay. It kind of looks like I've done it in the typewriter, right? And it's kind of, the typewriter's not quite lined up, which often happens with those old manual typewriters. All right, so what I'm going to do is just wrap some of our gorgeous ribbon around. This is the Pool Party ribbon, and it is called Sheer Ribbon, and it really does bring out the lovely blues that are in the colours of the Stampin' Blends that I've used. I'm just going to do a bow here and pull that taut like that, and trim that just a little bit shorter on this one, and then swivel that bow to the other side there. And so that's now ready to go on the front of my card, and you'll see it's already cut to size to match the front of this Z-fold card, which incidentally is done in Fresh Freesia. So there's the front, and then what happens on the inside of the card is where the magic happens. So let me just start off with just laying everything out. So basically what we're going to do is put one here, and then we're going to put another one here. And where did everything go? Nope, here we go. Got that. And we've got this. And, oh, I've actually done it the wrong way. That's all right. It should be going that way, not this way. Okay. That's right. So basically I put it on the wrong way. I've opened up my card the wrong way. So you guys will need to make sure that you put it this way, so that when you're putting things on the inside, so we'll just pretend that this is the front of my card and we have the inside here. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop the two panels here. And I have 4 bits of Fresh Freesia card, and I'll show you the measurements of these. They are about 14 by 3.5. So 14 by 3.5, and then I'm actually scoring them at 3.5 centimeters each, 3 times down the length of the card, so that you've got 2 little flaps for each bit that actually go inside, or underneath, I should say, underneath where those panels are going. So if you've got your card opening the correct way, yours will be turning out like this, okay? Don't you love when you've got something organised and you think it's all going to go off without a hitch, and then you end up sticking something on the wrong side, but that's all right. It happens. I'm sure I can resurrect the front of this card and put it on another card front. At some point, I will do that. So basically what you want to do is you want to match this. So this is the front, and you're opening it up, and you've got a middle line, which you're going to line up all of these 4 pieces along, and you're only going to stick them, the 2 outside squares down, and you're going to leave a little bit of a gap from the top of your card, and a little bit of gap in between each of these pieces, but always making sure that middle line is matched up with the middle line of your card. Now don't bend it upwards until everything is dry. So you'll need to leave a little bit of time for this glue to dry and adhere properly before you go closing it. And everything's flat. You're starting off with everything flat on the card, and then when it is partially closed, that's where you will get the 3D effect happening. So you can see how it's going to be opening like that, and you've got that little tunnel that goes all the way through. So I'm going to leave that flat for a bit, and then I'm actually going to use my my panels that I've cut. These are, let me just measure them for you. They are just over 6 by 14.5. And I've used the gorgeous Designer Series paper that goes with this Blessings at Home bundle. And yeah, you'll notice that these panels just fit perfectly on the side, and they leave a tiny weeny bit of a frame around them, and they will keep everything nice and neat. So yeah, you don't actually see these bits here that you've glued. They're all hidden behind the panels. You could switch out the stamp set for this too. If you don't want to use the same stamps that I have, just grab another line art stamp, and you'll be able to stamp something else on the front, like I've done. Just stamp a different stamp, and you could stamp something else in the middle as well. But yeah, I'll leave it up to you. You guys will be able to work out maybe what you would like to use. You might have something different in your collection. Okay, so here we go. We're ready to put our jigsaw puzzle together. You just want to put a small amount of glue on each one, and each one of these just goes in the square that's formed in that fold out section. So it really is like a 3D puzzle card. I'm not really sure, I can't remember what Jan called it, but it is a specific type of fold, and it's designed to sort of be on display when you've got the card standing up on your mantelpiece, or your windowsill. It's definitely a card that needs to be on display. So I've got all my bits here happening, and my last two bits are going to go down the bottom here. Perfect. There we go. So that's done, and by the time we've got all these stuck on, everything will be glued in place. So you've actually got your card ready to fold down flat, and I would use a bone folder just to make sure that that's nice and flat once the card is sitting closed. And inside, what I did was I actually used these gorgeous little butterflies from the Positive Thoughts stamp set. And I've coloured them in. I've actually blended two different colours. I've got the Balmy Blue and the Fresh Freesia. And you'll notice that one butterfly's got blue in the centre and the other one's got the Fresh Freesia in the centre. And I've just finished it off with a little bumblebee as well. On my original card, I've also got some of these gold faceted gems, which are also retiring. I'm going to miss those. They are just so beautiful. So yeah, so whether you're wanting to make a birthday card or a Mother's Day card, this one is definitely going to impress. And oh, I forgot to mention those. If you do fold it correctly, you've actually got that end piece of the Z fold to write in your card. So this is purely decorative, and then you've got a little bit of room to write your message on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this bit off, and I might stick something else on the front here. I'm sure I can resurrect this card somehow. But it's good to know, hey, that you're not the only one that this happens to. I have had people stick cards on upside down many times. There's always a way to fix it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to like my YouTube, follow me on YouTube, subscribe so that you don't miss out on any other of my instructional videos. And also big thanks to Jan for her original design that inspired me to make this card. She's very clever. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.